Have you ever felt the cold blade of disillusionment touch the back of your neck? Well, that's exactly how your tragedy begins. You are a samurai, proud, honorable, and completely in love. But in your story, love is not poetry. It's a katana ready to rip your throat in the silence of a night of betrayal. She appeared like a haiku whispered in the wind. Long hair, downcast eyes, the promise of affection hidden in the silent corridors of the castle. You, a warrior trained to die without fear, tremble inside when she smiles. And as you sharpen your sword, you think of her, of the scent of her kimono, of the soft curve of her lips. You forget the most sacred rule. Samurai do not love. Samurai obey. Samurai kill. And when they fall in love, they become targets. Fate smiles crookedly. His greatest rival, the samurai who shared the trenches with him, shares something else. Her heart. Maybe she was never his. Maybe she was his from the first glance. Now he knows. The castle whispers. Servants carry rumors like leaves carried by the wind. The corridors become eavesdropping traps. Every beat of your heart sounds like betrayal. And in the silence of the dojo, you rehearse blows that you know full well could be your doom. You find her in a courtyard lit by lanterns, promises whispered under the moon, fingers touching quickly, afraid of witnesses. But there are eyes everywhere, eyes that do not forgive weak samurai. In the master's room, your rival watches in silence. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. The respect between you has gone up in smoke. He trains harder. He measures you. He decides he's going to cut you. Not for honor, but for revenge. You dream of an escape. One day, you disappear into the night. You trade the rigor of the sword for a distant field, growing rice and laughing children. But you wake up sweaty, with the katana sheath frozen next to the mat. It's impossible. The shogun demands loyalty. For those who betray, the only option is seppuku. But his rival wants more than just her belly open on the mat. He wants to savor the sound of her neck cracking under the blade. He wants to show her who is in charge of the heart she tried to deceive. In trainal, your swords meet. Sparks, false smiles, the bamboo of the dojo echoes the hard steps. You feel it. Death walks among you, disguised as reverence. She waits for you later. The smell of plum blossoms. She swears she doesn't love you anymore, but you don't believe her. It doesn't matter. It's too late. Your rival challenges you at dawn. The inner garden becomes a stage for blood. Lanterns sway in the wind. The carp in the lake watch in silence. The first blow slices through the air. You block. Your arm tingles. The moon reveals his eyes. There is no honor there, only spite. You think of her, what she's doing now, what she'll do when you fall. Will she cry? Will she throw herself into the lake to avoid facing the shame? The bamboo snaps. You stumble. He smiles. He feints to the left. The blade grazes your shoulder, hot, red. You feel almost no pain. Only anger. You attack. You tear his kimono. For a second, you're warriors again, breathing heavily, bare feet on the cold wood. But love is not a sword. Love does not defend. Love weakens. You hesitate. He does not. The final blow is sharp. A crack. The world spins. You feel the ground. The moon goes out. His head rolls like an offering to the gods who never cared. He kneels, breathes heavily, wipes the blade on his white kimono. She watches, hidden behind the paper curtains. Her hands tremble. Love flows from her eyes, but there is no forgiveness. She knows that tomorrow she will smile at the killer. That is how you survive. That is how you extinguish a forbidden passion.
The sound of silence weighs more than the sound of the cut. His rival, now lord of all, puts his sword back in his obi, takes a deep breath, and feels the bitter taste of victory. He did not win because he was stronger. He won because he loved less. The headless body lies there under the moon, while the garden witnesses the tragedy that has blossomed like a poisoned flower. The lanterns go out, one by one, suffocating any trace of romance under the darkness. She holds back her tears, but the sob escapes. The sound is low, as if she is begging the wind not to spread it. In her head, the memory of her smile mixes with the image of the blood staining the stones in the garden. She wants to run to you. She wants to scream. She wants to tear her chest open with longing, but the paper door opens behind her. He is there, the new master of her destiny, the man who decided his end and hers. He doesn't touch her. He doesn't need to. His gaze is heavier than the blade. He just nods. It's time to bury love. It's time to bury you. In the temple, monks murmur prayers for a departed soul, knowing there would be no peace. You, warrior of 1,000 battles, will have no worthy tomb. Your name will be struck from the scrolls. The shogun does not want passionate martyrs. She leaves a plum petal on the cold floorboards in the dead of night. It is all she dares to offer, a tiny memory hidden in the shadows. His rival, now alone in the dojo, sharpens his sword again. The blade reflects his face, but for an instant it reflects his own. He shivers. He sees his ghost. He sees the part of himself he killed to survive. In the village, peasants whisper about the samurai who loved wrong. A legend is born in silence, passed from mouth to mouth. The warrior who betrayed the code, not for gold, not for power, but for love. The shogun orders letters to be burned, flags to be torn down, and the blood to be washed from the garden. He does not want memories that inflame young hearts. He does not want another samurai foolish enough to surrender to kisses instead of oaths. Meanwhile, she sews a new kimono. Line by line, she thinks of you. Each stitch is a stab at the memory. Each fold is an apology that will never reach your ear. At night, she dreams of the sound of your laughter. She wakes up, and on her pillow, feels the emptiness of a hug that no longer exists. The rival, now a forced husband, never really touches her. He has her body, but not her soul. What was hers died with you in the garden. Years pass. The garden blooms again, but always at the time of the full moon, the air seems to freeze. Servants say it is her spirit prowling, katana in hand, hunting for the love that was stolen. Sometimes she kneels on the mat, alone. She repeats her name in whispers, as if it were a spell to open gates to the beyond. On stormy nights, the rival wakes up startled. He swears he saw his shadow reflected in the paper door. He swears he heard the sound of bare footsteps in the dojo. But is it fear or guilt? The man who wins discovers that those who win in love always lose in everything else. He sleeps next to a woman who does not love him. He has her body, but not her soul. What was hers died with you in the garden. She, now older, combs her hair in front of the bronze mirror. Each white strand is a petal falling from the branch of memory. But inside, she still keeps the garden, the lanterns, the whisper of promises. And in the end, when everything fades away, what is left? A love that did not fit into the code. A samurai who loved wrongly, but died rightly. Because if the sword does not forgive, the heart, even if broken, does not lie. His name disappears from the scrolls, but grows in the tales. And every time someone whispers this story, a new warrior lowers his head, sighs, and wonders if it is worth loving so strongly.